Hello, guys. How are you? Welcome to another episode with your money coach. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fantastic and super excited that I get to speak with you guys today. First of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. Is this the first time we're chatting or you're seeing me or you're meeting me? Whether you're watching us on YouTube or you're listening to us on the Money Pit MD podcast, I'm so glad that we're in each other's lives. So this specific episode is going to be really, really short, and it was sort of an impromptu topic that came as I was prepping to actually record the episodes that I was going to record for you guys. And the point of this specific episode is so simple. It's something that is so incredibly simple that most people are going to miss, and I don't want you to miss it. So here's the deal. If you're listening to me on the podcast, I want you to do yourself a favor and go watch on the YouTube channel right now. And the reason why is because the episode of today that I'm talking about, you will be a more understanding of it when you see the video quality that I'm using here on YouTube. So for those that haven't been in my sphere, I've actually had a vlog with the MoneyFit MD for about 2 years now, and then I've had the podcast for a little over a year. And the thing is this, I started the vlog because I knew that I had something that was important to share with the world. However, I was so nervous about speaking in front of any human. I was afraid of being judged. I was afraid of what people were going to talk about and all this other stuff that I really didn't want to do any of this. I just wanted to keep minding my own business and hang out in my own small side of town, right? However, when the pandemic happened and everything was happening, I was not worried about finances, and I realized that I had a gift, I had wisdom, I had knowledge about money and doing finances in a way that is different from how it's traditionally taught. That definitely has helped me a lot in my finances to the point where when the pandemic happened, I wasn't worried about finances. I was worried about, my kids' health. I was worried about their mental health, my parents. And what that meant was that the finances and the work that I'd done in advance put me in a position to be able to worry about the things that were more important than money. And so that's how I started. But I wasn't excited about speaking to people and doing all this stuff, right? None of that nonsense. I wasn't. But I remember when I was trying to figure out if I should do a podcast or audio format versus video format, I decided to do video format. And the reason why was I decided that I was going to do the hardest one and rip the freaking band-aid and be done with it. Yo, I will tell you one thing. I have that first episode on, I believe it's on Facebook, on the MoneyFit MD Facebook page. And guys, I don't think I've really had the nerve to go back and watch it. I think I did like a year or so ago because the quality was so horrible. Like the quality of the video, the quality of the audio. But I just said I was just going to get started and get better from there. So what I want to talk about in this episode today is the importance of just getting started and letting go of perfectionism, especially as you start. So if you're watching on YouTube, you will see that the quality that you're watching may be better than the quality you've watched before. And the reason why is because I finally decided to buy a webcam. Not because I couldn't buy a webcam. No, it's because I never actually thought about buying a webcam. I just thought, you know what? Zoom's working. It's doing this stuff. My phone is working. Who cares about light quality and all this other stuff? And today I turned on the video to record the podcast episodes that I was going to do. And I was like, oh, dang, this quality is good. So for all y'all that have been following me the last 2 years, my apologies, because no apologies, zero apologies, right? The key is I started by starting. I started where I was. I started without trying to wait for things to be perfect, without waiting for my light quality to be perfect, without waiting for my audio quality to be perfect, without waiting for anything to be perfect. Really, I just realized that what I knew was life changing, and I've done that. And the thing is, sometimes when we're waiting for all the things to fall in line and everything to fall into place, what ends up happening is we talk ourselves out of it. Our limited beliefs and our limiting thoughts come into play, actually talks us off of doing what we wanted to do. Sometimes we'll listen to people that may not necessarily not have our best interest in mind, whether they know it or not. And what happens is that we don't do that thing that we wanted to do because now we've been waiting for perfectionism. And, to be honest with you, as a physician, I know that this is sometimes easier said than done. Because a lot of times when we think about everything we've been taught to do, everything we've been groomed to do, everything we've been raised to do as physicians, we want it to be done as perfectly as possible because we're dealing with human lives. And I get it. And that is the truth, right? However, outside of the clinical walls, when it comes to transfer of knowledge, when it comes to executing, being a mom, and even that doesn't have to be perfect, being a human, helping people, like just doing that amazing thing that you already have in your heart to do. My thing for you is don't wait until it's perfect to start. Just start by starting and then you edit forward. There are some things that I did decide that I believe has really, really helped me, especially in my journey in imperfection. And part of it is number one was starting by just starting. But number two was telling myself that I wasn't going to allow myself to edit myself. So what that means is a lot of times I hear people that are starting a business, they're starting a YouTube channel, they're starting something, and they create the first one, they're like, oh, it's not good, I'm going to scrap it and do another one and another one. And what ends up happening is another way that fear can actually prevent us from launching forward because we create multiple versions of the same thing and we never actually fail forward. We fail on the same spot, right? We fail on the same spot. It's like saying, I'm not going to get started in driving until I find the perfect music and wait for the perfect radio station to play the perfect song, and then I will get started. You can see how that's going to waste your time. So that's one thing that I didn't do. That's one thing that I told myself was I am not going to edit the version, right? If I decide that it could have been better, I am going to do that as the next episode forward. So that's failing forward. And that was really important because as someone that has a bunch of siblings and sisters that love her, what that means is that they would let you know the truth. They will call your crap out if needed. They will tell you about the light quality. They will tell you about the audio quality. They'll tell you all this other stuff. And if you're trying to get all that information, putting into action before you get started, or you're now canceling what you've done before in order to do it perfectly, you're never going to grow. So right now we've done over 100 episodes on the podcast. We're starting to grow our YouTube. We're doing all this other stuff now, growing forward, failing forward, improving forward. And over the last 2 years of my imperfect quality of video, the imperfect quality of audio, we've helped so many humans. We've helped humans all over the world. I get messages from physicians, from non-physicians, from males, from not like every single person we can think about. I get messages a lot, not all the time, but I get messages about how this information has been helping. People are buying real estate, finally taking action on things that I've been stalling on doing, right? They're asking for raises, they're negotiating, they're leaning more into imperfect action as a result of listening to this. So imagine what would have happened and who we would not have been able to help if I was waiting for my webcam live, with my fancy audio live, with my podcast edited live before I get started. So those are some of the things that I chose to do was, again, get started. And then anything that I learn, I impute that into the next release or the next step or the next evolution. And if you've looked at everything that I've created the last 2 years, it's been 100% that. If you look at the landing pages that we started, like when I started, I was doing every single thing myself. The landing pages, and I do not like technology. I almost hate technology. I mean, I love it as a tool, as an asset. However, when it comes to actually doing it, I have this, I'm like, what language is this mindset when it comes to technology, right? And so imagine every landing page that I did took me like forever hours. Every email that I sent took me forever hours. And now we've been able to cash flow with MoneyFitMD, help as many people get value out there to the point now we're able to pay for our team to support us. And what that means is we get to now continue to grow forward and do it forward. So anyways, if you listen to this episode, that's what it's about. It's about getting started and not waiting for perfectionism, and about you finding ways that you can actually rules or guidelines for yourself that's going to help you prevent yourself from being analysis paralyzed or waiting forever to excel, and forever will never ever come. So I love you all. I hope this has been helpful. If you're listening on the podcast, go find us on YouTube and take a look at the video quality and let me know if it really does look that much better or not. And if you're here on the vlog, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching on Facebook, or wherever else you may be finding us, or Instagram, or maybe even LinkedIn, I don't know where we're going to be this year in 2023, but whatever that is, I want you to leave us a note, send us a message, and don't forget, the important part of this is not just acquiring the knowledge, it's about becoming who you need to be in order to move to the next level and take actions, take actions, take actions. I love you guys. I'm rooting for you in 2023 and beyond. I'm excited about the things that you and I are going to create together. And don't forget to go to our website, moneyfitmd.com, so that you can learn how we can partner together and we can help you create the kind of financial life that you want to create. All right. Love you guys. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.